A good and business-healthy environment is the backbone of starting a business. We know a lot of you have big plans to set up and grow your own business. And for some of you, part of the adventure might even include relocating to a new country. In this case, you'll want to know which countries can give you the best chances of success. We made this video to focus on it. By watching this video you'll find out which country is very good for business when it comes to having the best environment to grow a startup. We've based our list on factors ranging from the strength of the economy to how much the government and the local business environment support startups, as well as asking which countries have the lowest levels of corruption and red tape. We've also taken into account how easy it is for foreigners to set up a business, as well as for locals. So are you ready to find out which country takes the #1 spot? Let's start the countdown and take a look at the 10 best countries to start a business. Number 10, Sweden. Our journey to startup heaven begins in the north of Europe with Sweden at number 10. And it won't be the only Nordic country on our list. Impressive economic figures like a high GDP and a low inflation get us off to a good start, as well as its world-class infrastructure and highly skilled workforce. Income tax in Sweden might be high, but the Swedish government puts it to excellent use. And not many Swedes complain about it, besides using it to fund their top of the league education and healthcare systems. They put plenty of tax money toward programs for startups. If you always thought of Sweden as a country with high taxes, you might be surprised to hear their corporate taxes are very reasonable at 22%, lower than a lot of developed countries. A lack of corruption and bureaucracy helps too, and high living standards means that Sweden isn't just a great place to live. Swedes also have a lot of disposable income to spend. It's a country with a reputation for innovative ideas. Companies like Ericsson, IKEA and Volvo have been showing us this for a long time, as well as a younger name you'll be familiar with. We're sure you know Spotify, but you might not know that they're Swedish. Number 9, Switzerland. More than 40,000 new companies are founded in Switzerland every year. Not bad for a country with less than 10 million people, and with a good reason too. It's about as politically and economically stable as you can get, with low levels of corruption and one of the world's most stable currencies. And there's no question that the Swiss have innovation in their DNA. They've cornered that market well over a century ago. These days they're also applying their know-how to high-tech production. They're among the world leaders in fintech, blockchain and medical technologies, and one of the most sophisticated financial sectors in the world. Makes it the perfect place for finding investors or business mentors. All of this means a highly developed ecosystem for startups, and it's like living there. Zurich currently takes the second spot on the Mercer Quality of Living survey of the best places in the world to live. Geneva and Brussels get into the top 10 as well, so as long as you're not set on tropical weather or beaches, it's perfect for pretty much everything. But keep in mind, living there isn't cheap. Number 8, Malaysia. This time we're taking a trip to the other side of the world, to an up-and-coming hub in Southeast Asia. Malaysia, a big reason why it's been rising up on the list of desired countries for startups is the Malaysian government. They've been doing all kinds of things to encourage innovative young businesses to set up shop here, like changing laws to make it easier to register businesses and do cross-border trade, giving tax breaks for small companies and encouraging entrepreneurs from outside the country. The developed infrastructure is a big bonus too. And so is the highly skilled workforce, which isn't as expensive as a lot on this list. All of this means that Malaysia is attracting more and more innovative tech startups. And the state of Penang has even gotten itself the nickname the Silicon Valley of the East. Number 7, Canada. Going north once again to Canada, entrepreneurs here can enjoy plenty of access to seed funding, as well as government grants and tax credits for startups. You'll also find low levels of corruption and red tape and a stable economy. Canada also has one of the lowest corporate tax rates in the world. And thanks to relatively free trade agreements, your business in Canada will enjoy the huge market south of the border in the USA, at least for the time being. So it's no surprise a lot of Americans choose to set up their businesses here. But it's not just Americans that do this. Canada has one of the most forward-thinking immigration policies in the world. It's known for its multiculturalism and actively encourages talented people from all over the world to immigrate. Combine that with a highly educated labor force and an entrepreneurial mindset, It's no surprise Canada is a great place to start your business when it comes to successful Canadian companies that are known around the world. You probably figured out that Canada Goose is one of them. But did you know that IMAX Four Seasons Hotels and Joe Fresh are all Canadian too? Number 6, Denmark. The Danish government is one of the best in the world when it comes to supporting startups. That includes one with foreign owners who they actively encourage to set up here. It's one of the easiest countries in the world to set up and run a business. You can start a company in less than a day and even do it online. It's home to accelerator programs that are supported by the Danish government. Plus, Copenhagen is one of the world's leading smart cities and a great place for smart city tech startups. You'll also enjoy the friendly work culture which entrepreneurs tell us makes it a pleasure to do business there, and Danes are known for being open-minded and happy to embrace new things, which means if you've got a forward-thinking idea, the Danish market is a great place to try it out. Still not convinced? Well, it scores number 1 on the World Happiness Index as the happiest country in the world. Seriously, who wouldn't want to move to Denmark to start their business? Number 5, the United Kingdom. Since 2016, the business environment in Britain has faced a lot of uncertainty as to the result of Brexit. But it still keeps on getting named one of the hottest places for startups, even topping the Forbes list in 2018. If you know your history, you'll know that the UK has a reputation as a world leader in innovation for a long time. At least as far back as the Industrial Revolution, which began there over 2 centuries ago, and it's still an incredibly innovative place with startups that can disrupt entire industries like food delivery company Deliveroo and fintech Revolut. And it's just one of the best places in the world for getting seed capital. Just watch a few episodes of Dragon's Den if you don't know. It's the show that inspired the American spin-off Shark Tank, but just down to the practical stuff. It's easy and cheap to set up a company. It takes about an hour and costs about £14, less than $20 US. It also has all kinds of tax breaks and low corporate taxes at just 19%. Number 4, the United States. The next country has giants like Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google and Tesla, and many of the big success stories of the last decade like Airbnb and Uber, of course, in the USA. And with so many of the companies that influence our lives, did you really expect it to not be on the list? Current controversies aside, the USA has pretty much everything: big opportunities for funding from investment firms, banks, VCs and angel investors, tax breaks for businesses, the world's most exciting startup environment in Silicon Valley, a culture of embracing new ideas, and a huge market. America doesn't get its nickname as the land of opportunity for nothing. And a tip for non-US residents wanting to set up a business in the USA: the best place to do it is Delaware, the most business-friendly state. Here it's easier to set up and operate a business than anywhere else in the country, having lower filing fees, fewer restrictions on non-US citizens, and less red tape. Even though it's one of the smallest states, more than half of America's publicly traded companies are registered there. Don't worry, just because you register there doesn't mean you have to operate from there. Google and Coca-Cola have their paperwork filed in Delaware, not at their head offices. Number 3, Norway. What is it about these Nordic countries that make them keep appearing on this list? There are a few simple answers: practically zero corruption and red tape, well-developed economies and infrastructure, highly educated populations with plenty of disposable income, and governments that actively encourage startups. And despite high income taxes, corporate taxes are low, just like Sweden and Denmark. Norway also has a corporate tax of 22%, and Norway is a country that loves technology, meaning you can do all the company paperwork online very easily. If you need employees with advanced tech skills, no problem. And if you've got any kind of innovative tech startup, Norwegians are more than ready to give it a go. Like Switzerland, it isn't in the EU, but it does have close trade links, which means you can benefit from the huge European market. Some of their most exciting startups include game-based education app Kahoot and solar panel startup Otavo. Number 2, New Zealand. Next, a country that has most of the same plus points as the Nordic countries, but just so happens to be located on the other side of the world: New Zealand. It's got high levels of development, education, and very little corruption or red tape, and in this case, the cost of living isn't quite as high. That also means the highly skilled workforce. isn't so expensive to hire, it's also incredibly easy to start a business here. You can do it all in one day. Another big benefit of running a business in New Zealand is an online resource called Statistics New Zealand. This lets you run the numbers on whatever industry you're interested in. And it tells you everything you need to know about culture, spending habits, and how well your business niche is performing. So viewers, are you ready to find out which country takes the top spot? Number 1, Singapore. So we are the end of our list, and the first place is Singapore. Singapore has got pretty much everything when it comes to setting up a business. A highly skilled labor force known for efficiency and serious work ethic. Low corporate taxes, no capital gains taxes or taxes on dividends, free trade agreements with numerous countries that will open up huge markets to you. Low levels of bureaucracy, the fact you can register a business online, and it's one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Which you'll have figured out by now means that Singaporeans have a lot of disposable income. It's also the quickest country in the world to resolve commercial disputes in Singapore. This takes 150 days. If you don't have experience on this, it might sound like a long time, but compare that with the USA, where settling a commercial dispute takes an average of 420 days. And it definitely looks a lot more desirable, and with that elixirs. We're at the end and would love to know which country would you most like to start a business in and why? Let us know in the comments. If you set up a company or already have one, we wish you all the best. If you like this video, please put a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We uploading facts, news, travel and lifestyle video on a daily basis. Thank you.